There's a belief that we can consume our way out of trouble. We can be good consumers. We can be green consumers. And of course, yeah, we should try to consume better stuff rather than worse stuff, which is why I follow a plant-based diet. But to be honest, apart from dietary issues, which really make a big impact, and transport issues, almost everything else we do in terms of what we do or don't consume makes scarcely any difference. There's a wide range of academic literature showing that it doesn't really matter what you think you are, whether you think you're a good consumer or a bad consumer, your impact is going pretty well to match your level of wealth. If you're a rich person, you will consume far more than if you're a poor person. Consumerism is not just something that happens as a byproduct of capitalism. Of course, it's absolutely fundamental to capitalism. You can't have continued economic growth unless people with disposable wealth can be induced to part with that wealth. By definition, people who don't have disposable wealth will not spend any more than they spend already. But people who do, you've got to find a way of getting them to spend that money. That's what your growth as a particular company or an entrepreneur depends on, and that's what the growth of the economy as a whole depends on, is getting those people with disposable cash to spend it. And they do. There's a whole infrastructure of persuasion, making use of the best psychologists and the best neuroscientists to persuade you to part with that money for a more and more fancy car, a more and more fancy wristwatch, a more and more fancy home, a bigger and bigger swimming pool. It's never enough. There's never a point at which you can say, I'm done, I've got it, I've arrived. Because there's always someone telling you, well, someone else has got something better than you've got. Something more stylish, something more fashionable, something more desirable. Now, Michael Sandel, in his book, What Money Can't Buy, talks about how extrinsic values, in other words, wealth, fame, status, displace intrinsic values. They don't sit happily alongside each other. If you put a lot of your energy and desire and value into money and fame and status and stuff, you will put less into community and love and kindness to others. And there's a huge range of research showing that people with a lot of money tend to have less empathy than people who've got much less money.